Hey everybody, as a citizen of the internet, I feel compelled to weigh in on the gorilla murder catastrophe thing. Zoo thing. They really need to come up with a catchier name.
Jake's Daily Vlog.
So, first of all, if you live under a rock or don't have internet and this is the first video that you have ever seen on the internet, first of all, welcome to the internet. It's a lovely place. I would be careful what you Google. You do know how to use Google, right? Okay. Beyond that, I think you'll be fine. So anyway, like a couple of days ago, maybe even like a week ago, at the Cincinnati Zoo, this kid fell into the gorilla pit, and this gorilla grabbed the kid and was maybe being violent with it, was maybe not being violent with it. We don't really know. And the zookeeper people killed the gorilla in order to save the kid. And the internet has been losing its crap about this ever since. Mostly because they think that it was wrong to kill the gorilla. When I weigh in on this thing that's happening on the internet, I'm not really interested in sharing my opinion because it's kind of just like shouting into the void. I feel like it's much more interesting to sort of comment on what is happening in the internet versus just like picking a side. So one of the things that's happening kind of contextually inside of this sort of huge like explosion on the internet about this gorilla and this little boy is looking at the value of a human life versus the value of an animal's life. And strangely enough, the internet has decided that the animal's life is as important or more important than the life of this human. And that's interesting because we kill and eat a lot of animals and like turn animals into clothes and stuff. And people aren't this upset about that sort of thing. If you are staunchly on the side of the gorilla, maybe it is something that you should think about the next time you order a cheeseburger or buy some leather shoes. How much you care about animals and why you were so upset about the gorilla. Just something to think about. Also, another sort of subset that we have come across is that the way the mom handled things, it seems like was maybe not great. It seems like maybe she was distracted or something. But I feel like there's a lot of anger towards the mom of the kid that fell into the gorilla pit. And I think because we have very little information about this person, it's not very fair to be that angry at her. I think I can understand where it's coming from because we've all experienced like more than one instance of that like mom in the grocery store or wherever who has the kids who are like just causing havoc and the mom is just totally oblivious to it. And that's like frustrating, and I think we're taking that like frustration and like putting it on to this mom who may or may not deserve that. Probably not. We might need to sort of think about that and redirect that somewhere else. I guess what I'm saying is that this whole thing with the gorilla and the kid is actually like really interesting on like a philosophical level, and it would be really fun to have a more sort of ethical philosophical debate about it and to sort of unpick kind of why maybe we value gorilla lives more than we value like cow lives or pig lives or something like that. Also, I think we should maybe hold off judgment for the mom until all the facts are in, and maybe be a little more empathetic, because I'm sure that that was probably one of the worst days of her life. And the fact that the entire internet is mad at her probably isn't helping. So, yeah, maybe we should just calm, rational debates are something that the internet isn't great at. But I feel like now might be a time for us to try that instead of just like screaming into the void because we're anonymous. I don't know. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. And I hope you have a great day. Sorry again for the super late video.